Question for you. How are your New Year's resolutions going? It's February now. Usually by this point, either they've completely bombed and you're not doing anything anymore, or you're still on track, you're happy. Maybe you got one pec here, one ab here. Maybe you're eating healthier, like myself. But most importantly, I don't know if you guys have noticed with the YouTube channel, we've been trying to beef up our production quality by putting in a bit more effort. This is my chance to introduce a segue, because I saw parallels between that and what we're talking about in this week's episode, which is the difference between lazy B-roll and B-roll when you put in a bit more effort and thought into it. I thought I'd give you some context. So a couple days ago, we were working on a project with Visit Las Vegas, also known as this really long name here, which is really hard to remember, so I'm just gonna put it on screen. So Visit Las Vegas organized a few fun activities for us to go and shoot, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to show you the difference between lazy B-roll, which is just getting the shot that's necessary for the video, versus actually putting some thought, some effort into your shots. So on that note, let's see some of that not so lazy B-roll.
I got that new thing, new style, new walk. I got that new vibe, new grip, new tone. Been traveling around the world and ain't nobody quite like me. I got that new thing, new style, new walk. Go ahead, take a picture.
Hi guys, welcome to our first shot. I am exhausted right now, but we have to shoot this hotel room for this video. But I've just been on a plane for 4 hours, and also 2 days ago I was in Switzerland, so I'm super jet lagged. So all I want to do is sleep, but you gotta push through and get the shot for the video. So we're in this hotel room, we need to showcase it. Naturally, my instinct, my gut just says, all right, let's just get a quick lazy shot. Let's just go and grab a 16 mil, do the old little dance where you go around the corner and you shoot in slow motion. But when I look back at that shot, the lazy approach, I realized there's a few problems with it. Number one, my shadow, you can see it down below there. And number two, because the shutter is a little higher, it's at 1/250 for the slow motion, I'm noticing some weird artifacts that are in the lights right now. And that doesn't look good when you bring it into post later, which means you can't really use that shot. It's not gonna work. So how do we make this shot more interesting and also get rid of all those problems that we saw in the lazy approach? Well, number one, we need to shoot at 24 frames a second so we can bring that shutter to 1/50 and get rid of those weird artifacts in the lights. Number two, if I don't want to see my shadow, I gotta push back a little bit. And number three, if we want to make this room look bigger, we're gonna use the 12mm lens, because the wider the lens, the more epic the space is gonna seem, which is gonna translate well for the client that we're shooting for. Also, I want to add more motion and movement into the shot, and there's a door right at the front. I have my second shooter. If I just ask him to open the door on cue and I push through the door, that shot's gonna look a lot better. So as you can see here, I asked Lucas, I said 3, 2, 1, open the door. I push through with that 12mm lens at 24 frames a second. And that shot looks way better than that first one. So that's the one that's gonna end up in the edit.
I got that new thing, new style, new walk. I got that new vibe, new grip.
So after we checked in at the Palms Hotel, our first activity was a helicopter ride with Maverick helicopters. Now, I think anytime helicopters get introduced, you always get really jazzed up. I always get like, oh, helicopter ride, let's go, let's go. But I had to remind myself to take a quick moment to just like chill out, Chris. Remember, this is a job, and you have to get the best shot possible for this video. So before the helicopter ride, I went to the pilot and asked him, what's the best seat in the helicopter to get the best vantage point of the strip? He told me the flight was about 12 minutes and most of the things were happening on the left side. So he's like, try to get in this seat right here. What I noticed once I was in the left seat is that we spent about 8 minutes flying over the strip on the left side and only about 2 minutes on the right side. That means I got 6 more minutes of shooting Las Vegas versus only 2. So if I had picked a different seat, I would have had less time and a worse vantage point, which means that B-roll would not have looked as good. In case that math is wrong, because I tried to do it on the spot while I was talking to you, essentially the takeaway is I got a lot more time shooting the strip, all because I asked the pilot, what seat should I sit in? This isn't just applied to when you're shooting in a helicopter. The takeaway is for any important event, you should always ask the person who's in charge of the event, the experience, the bus ride, whatever you're on, what's the best seat to be in? What's the best vantage point? When's the most important thing happening and at what time, and where should I be? Because that pre-planning means that you'll get a better composed shot, a better experience, a better vantage point, which ultimately means a better video. So let me show you the difference between the footage from my seat versus the footage from another random seat in the helicopter. All right, next day, next activity. This is a pink Jeep tour. You heard that right. Pink Jeep tour. I was just as surprised to see a giant pink Jeep in the desert, but actually this was a super fun activity. So here we have to capture this whole experience, and what's happening here, our driver Ron, who is a total badass by the way, was bringing us around Red Rock Canyon and bringing us to a bunch of dope locations. These locations are 30 minutes off the strip. Oh my, I didn't realize how beautiful Las Vegas was. This sounds like I'm selling it. No, literally, like, I had a great time. So the first stop, he drops us off in this parking lot and he brings us to this like epic vista, and I'm like, oh boy. I actually wasn't like that. I was just grabbing my camera. I was like, this looks sick. And then you think all you need to do is just like 16 mil wide angle shot. You get this shot right in the parking lot. This looks dope. Now I'm done. Okay, yes, I'm at this dope location. I only have 15 minutes rather than just getting a shot and then just sitting there on Instagram looking at other locations, which would be a total waste of time. I want to try to get as many shots as possible and the best shot as possible. But naturally, people always go to the same area where all the tourists are and they go, hey Don, hey Cheryl, this is a pretty cool vista, isn't it? And they shoot from eye level, they get the shot, and it's boring. It's so lazy. Don't be Don and Cheryl. I'm sorry, Don and Cheryl out there. If you're watching this video, I really appreciate your support and like leaving comments and like all that stuff means the world to me. What I'm trying to illustrate is that you should put a little bit more effort in. There was this one spot further down in the parking lot that actually overlooked the view, so we went down there. We made sure that we brought the gimbal with us, and we went down and we started looking at different perspectives. Rather than just shooting eye level, we're like, maybe shooting low will look better. Then we started noticing all these bushes, and we're like, well, the bushes kind of tell the story of being in the desert and looking at the Red Rock Canyon, so why don't we incorporate the bushes as foreground in our shot? So we brought the gimbal low, we found this one bush that complemented the colors within the frame, and we started to push through the bushes and revealing the epic view. And that shot looks way better than just the boring normal vista shot. Let's see the comparison between those two shots. Correct me if I'm wrong, unless your name's Don and Cheryl, but shot number 2 looks really good. So when we were on this Jeep tour, we were specifically asked, do not shoot with the drone. That was like in the email, in bold, because we all know that shooting with a drone, wherever country you're in, is a little bit of like a gray area, usually iffy, most likely don't know how to do it. So don't do it. You never want to be a liability for your client, but there are alternatives out there. In this case, if you use an Insta360 on a giant selfie stick, kind of looks like a drone. It's a really good way of getting unique angles and different perspectives, which is always a good way to make your video look more interesting. So here's the difference between just accepting the fact that you can't shoot with the drone versus actually being prepared, bringing that silly selfie stick with you when people are like, look at that tourist with his selfie stick. It's very evident which one wins here. The black screen. All right, so we're still on this pink Jeep tour right now. I'm gonna show you 2 shots. Here's the first one. And here's the second one. I'm gonna give you a hot second to decide which one's better. And I'm also gonna give you a tip. It's number 2. Naturally in these situations when you're doing an activity, you wanna like try to capture. You're like, oh cool, there's a pink Jeep, I'll just shoot the Jeep. But you can actually go the extra mile and ask the operator, well, can I get you to actually drive the Jeep? I think we always have this like internal dialogue that we're like disturbing the person if we go up and ask them, hey, do you mind just getting in the Jeep and moving just a little bit? Like, I just want to get this cool shot. Most of the time, if you ask, people want to be helpful and they want to get a good shot for you because it's a win-win for both parties. You get a cool shot, they maybe get featured in a video, and everyone just gets this really amazing video clip at the end of the day. So go and ask. I'm gonna go ask Ron, who's our guide today, to see if he wouldn't mind just driving the Jeep for one shot. Mind if we grab a quick shot of the Jeep driving out?
Oh, what it be gets like, yeah.
Awesome, man.
So
thanks.
You want me to drive up and then just loop back around?
Yeah, hoping maybe just like back up a little bit. I'll count you down. I'll go 3, 2, 1, and then just literally drive up just around that corner a little bit.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ron. Yeah, I got something. That was easy. My dude Ron making this shot look good. Yeah.
That new thing, new style, new walk. Go ahead, take a
So at this point in the video, we've seen a lot of amazing views, we've seen some really cool experiences, but we haven't seen really that many people. And I think one of the things that you should always consider when you're shooting a video is how can we introduce a character, because it helps to really drive the story. Having some sort of hero character in your content dictates to the audience how they should feel. So one of the content creators that was also invited on this trip was Mark Harrison. Shout out another Canadian boy, his content's super dope, links are below. I asked him, hey, do you mind being in my video? I'd love to create a little sequence of you like going through Red Rock Canyon, and thinking in sequences is a great way to introduce that character, showcase the landscape, and give him a chance to showcase how he's feeling. So I wanted to tell the audience, wow, look at this location. You're gonna really enjoy the views here. So had the little sequence, he goes around the rock, he's exploring a little bit, being adventurous, comes down, looks at the view, I get the shot of his face, he goes, whoa, this is sick. But he didn't say, whoa, it's sick, he just said it with his eyes, because he was smizing. I said, Mark, smize, and he was like, and that told the audience, feel good. So let's see the difference between our lazy B-roll here, which is just like some cool shots of like our landscape, versus like having a sequence where it's starting to build this anticipation of like, what's he gonna go see? What's he exploring? Oh, he's exploring this. Oh, he's smiling. That's nice. All right, so our last activity was to go to this show called Absinthe, which is a comedy slash burlesque slash talent show slash a lot of swearing slash I really enjoyed it and it was amazing. Here is my favorite shot from that experience. Right? Come on. Like, I'm even super proud of that shot. Like, if there was the Shorty Awards for like best shot for like a Las Vegas Tourism Board ad shot between February and end of February, I might get it. All right, all jokes aside, how many attempts do you think I actually had at that shot? I'm gonna like pause the video for a second. Here, I'll pause it for you. And then go and leave a comment. I'm sorry, I'm still supposed to be paused. Go and leave a comment. Do it. Don and Cheryl, do it. I'm about to tell you the answer. 3, 2, 1. 1 attempt at this shot. All right, so let me give you a little context for this shot. Before we went into the show, the only thing that we were told was no flash photography. And I was like, okay, no problem. We're gonna try to be strategic because I know there's still a show going on. There's people watching and I don't wanna disturb Don and Cheryl on their honeymoon right now. And I was like, okay, if I sit in this chair right here, I'll be able to like slide out real quick and get a really cool gimbal shot while some sort of cool action's happening. So I noticed that the show had started. I was like, oh, there's green fairies in the sky. Maybe she'll come down. So I stepped out, got the gimbal set up, set the focus, and I was like, all right, she's coming down in 3, 2, 1. All right, started walking forward. Ooh, this looks good. Oh, the lights. Oh God, don't screw up the shot. And nailed it. And then promptly right after that, security guard came up to me. He's like, sir, do you mind taking you and your gimbal and never doing that ever again, please? Actually, he just said, hey, just don't do this in the aisle. You can shoot from your seat. That's no problem. So what is the takeaway here? You have to choose your timing wisely. As the great poet Eminem once said, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to glow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better get the shot. What I'm trying to illustrate here is that you should treat every shot like you only have one attempt at it. Try to put the same pressure that you would have if you were shooting a wedding and you get that first kiss. And if you miss that first kiss, ooh, that contract's out the door, son. Because there's a good chance that that opportunity is a fleeting opportunity and you won't be able to get it again. So try your best to have vision, try to pre-plan as much as you can, try to respect the audience and the people around you so that you're not getting in their way, so that ultimately you get that one shot and you get it first time. And I'd like to show you the difference between me just sitting in a chair trying to get B-roll, which is not bad, but it's kind of static and a little boring, versus like taking that risk. We're still respecting that audience, but treating it like I had one shot at this. And look at the difference between those two shots. All right, guys, that is the end of the video. Hopefully you've learned a few things. I wanted to leave you on a little bit of like a message, just something of how I was feeling the last year and why I kind of wanted to make this video. I think it's really easy as photographers and videographers or creatives to be complacent and AKA lazy. Sometimes we just do what works. So you go like, oh, this is the photo that will get the likes. This is the video that will get the views. This is just enough to be okay. And I think it's important to try your best not to be complacent, AKA lazy. What excites me as a videographer is when I get a really interesting shot or I'm making something that I'm really excited about and I get fired up about. And that's the difference between kind of like Chris Howe, the last part of last year versus Chris Howe this year. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we're really trying to put a lot of effort into these videos right now and taking the extra step and working as a team to make stuff that excites us and pushing the boundaries, because I think when you are lazy or complacent and you just do enough to get by in this industry, it kind of takes away all the fun. And what I really want you to leave with, aside from all the tidbits and the nuggets and the comparisons in this video, is just get that excitement again. I've been starting to feel it this past year. I've been really enjoying creating content, and by putting in the extra effort and seeing the results of it, it's gonna light this fire inside of you that will ultimately spread to other people, get them really amped, and you're gonna create a community around you of people that are stoked and pushing the boundaries all the time. So again, that key takeaway is maybe rather than being lazy on that next shot, putting that extra effort, will create this momentum for you to just be a dope-ass creator. If you guys enjoyed this video and you saw any value in it, please press like. That stuff means the world. I don't know, I said it like Oprah. Subscribe and hit the bell to be notified for future videos. Leave a comment, do all the other things that people do down there. Go have fun down there. Go have fun down there. I'm really awkward. I love you guys. Bye, and thanks for always watching. And maybe if you made it to this part, woo! Wait, I'll do an ASMR version. Bravo. I don't want to be lazy anymore, but I still like cookies. Don and Cheryl are trying to have a nice vacation, and they're like, why does that boy keep coming with the gimbal? I'm paid some good money for this show, and I want to enjoy it. And his little short haircut keeps going by all the time. And I want to see the girl come down from the top that's dressed like a fairy, but her butt's kind of showing. That's fun. Let me start from the beginning because it's stupid.